somebody like who is an aspiring writer asked you for one piece of advice, what would you tell them? It can be like, do this or don't do this. Anyway.
Don't give up.
So just put pen to paper, keep writing, no matter what comes out.
I think, to me, it's that there's no right way to do it. I think everyone thinks like, oh, I'm not writing because I'm not physically putting 1,000 words per page a day. But what it really is, like, thinking about writing is writing. Like, loving writing is writing. Reading is writing. Like, as you develop your passion, there's no wrong answer to how you write the book, and there's no wrong amount of time to take.
I would say to always be open-minded. You can always find new tidbits in anything you do, whether you're watching a TV series, reading a new book, you're going to find new techniques to branch out in your own writing.
So my best friend has been basically writing stories since we were like 7, and she's always written like longer form stuff. But I feel like now that we're adults, she's sort of like not so much given up on the dream of being a writer, but has been like extremely discouraged from it. Is there anything I can do to help support it?
I think there's a lot that you can do. First is, it's kind of like, I think a lot of people know what to do with a young artist because you just pick out all the things that you can tell that is like their new style and you encourage them. But it's the same thing with writing. So if you read their writing, you say which parts you really like rather than focusing on the parts maybe you don't like. And if they're too nervous to show it to you, maybe you could take them to things that would kind of get them excited about writing again. For example, maybe you want to take them to an author panel. Maybe you want to take them to the library. Maybe you just want to join their special interests. And I think doing that type of thing can help maybe spur their excitement about it before they even realize that that's what you've done.
What do you guys do for writer's block to get out of that funk? I watch The Hobbit. I listen to it's a YouTube group called Clamave de Profundis. They do a lot of Hobbit and Lord of the Rings covers. So I'll just sit and listen to music sometimes, and then I do art on the side. So I'll just sit and I'll do my pixel art while listening to that. And then sometimes I'm just like, I thought of something. Yeah.
I would say that the worst thing you can do for writer's block is to keep pushing.
Yeah.
Take a break. Give yourself a break. Delve into stuff that you love, whether it's one of your tried and true books or a movie like The Hobbit that's something that gives you passion and it's a comfort to you. You know, don't push yourself when it comes to writer's block. The more you push, the worse it's gonna get.
And it will come back.
Or take a walk or something. Just distract yourself from the problem. And then a lot of the times when you least expect it, it will just pop into your head. That's why I keep like a little writing journal with me at all times. And then like, go on a walk or well, my husband's part of our writing group too. So I talk to him a lot too. So it's just, hey, what would you do in this situation kind of thing.
I think for me, I have kind of this philosophy about writer's block, and it's that if you're struggling with writer's block, it might be because you haven't developed your characters enough. There's kind of like a back end to writing that most people don't see unless they enjoy writing. And that's like character development helps create all the small in-between scenes, because there's of course all of these big action scenes or romance scenes or whatever you're writing. But the character development is where you start to find out, well, this character's favorite color is what? It's this. This is how they're going to act. This is how they might get in a conversation or a fight with another character. And then I feel like once you get that, it all kind of starts blending towards your next scene. And then you get excited to write these fun, goofy things that are so much more personal because you feel connected with the character. And then the next thing you know, you've sped past writer's block and you're writing the exciting parts again because you made the small parts exciting because you really know your characters.
So my boyfriend, he's a really talented writer, but he's kind of really worried about criticism. So I was just wondering how you guys deal with that, if you have any advice.
Keep plugging along. I have dealt with a lot of criticism with my first book because the cover itself resembles a very popular old school Japanese video game. So I've had a lot of people say that it's basically like a ripoff, or make fun of the cover or anything like that. But you just have to ignore it. If it's constructive, criticism, keep in mind that a lot of people aren't being mean. They're just trying to help you grow. But there are people out there that I consider, in the fan fiction world, we call them flamers, that they were just being mean, just be mean. Just ignore that.
I would think if your boyfriend is incredibly worried about criticism, there's a likely chance that they're their own worst critic. Which I think is just something that they'll have to get in their mind at some point, that not everyone else is like thinking about it so deeply. And then also, of course, people, they can be ignorant of the process and not understand and say things that are rude, but it's not indicative of actually how you are as a writer. It really, I think, you have to have kind of the self-confidence in yourself and the love for it to know that what you do means something, even if it doesn't mean something